All right, so the next one here, suspect in Las Vegas bombing was a Green Beret. So this is the Tesla Cybertruck bombing. And pretty much right after I posted this show yesterday, in yesterday's show, I said they haven't identified the guy. It was like a few minutes after my show posted that I saw they identified him. So the suspect in Wednesday's Tesla Cybertruck bombing that occurred outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas has been identified as 37-year-old Matthew Allen Livelsberger, an active duty U.S. Army Green Beret. So another Army veteran, and he was actually active duty. Livelsberger was identified as the person who rented the Cybertruck, and his IDs and credit cards were found in the vehicle, but the body was burned beyond recognition, and authorities say they're still waiting on a DNA test to confirm his identity. So this is a strange story. You know, to me, it seems like something doesn't add up here. It just doesn't make much sense. So the Cybertruck was blown up using firework mortars and gas canisters, which is a crude explosive for someone with this guy's military experience. That's something some of his family members said, saying, you know, he really knew his way around explosives. It's weird that it was fireworks and gas canisters that he used. The body had a gunshot wound to the head. Authorities are saying that it was self-inflicted, so they're saying that he killed himself before detonating these explosives. And Cybertrucks can be self-driving. You know, this is Tesla Cybertrucks. They can drive themselves, so people are speculating that maybe he could have been dead before the truck even showed up at the hotel, and then, you know, the explosives could have been on a timer and detonated that way. That's just speculation. But, you know, that is a whole element to this, that it is a car that can be self-driving. There's other people theorizing maybe he was a patsy and he was killed and then somebody sent him in. But who knows? You know, I don't want to get too much into those theories, but the details here it's just strange. It's a very strange story. So Las Vegas Sheriff Kevin McMahill said that he was, quote, comfortable calling it a suicide with a bombing that occurred immediately after, end quote. No one else was killed in the blast, and 7 people nearby sustained minor injuries. The bombing occurred just a few hours after Shamsud Din Jabbar, another U.S. Army veteran, plowed a truck into a crowd in New Orleans, killing 15. The FBI said there's no definitive link between the two incidents, though there are some similarities. This is a picture of Livelsberger from his LinkedIn account. So both of these guys, Livelsberger and Jabbar, used the app Turo to rent the vehicles they used, and both men had previously served at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. So there's a connection there, but at the same time, Fort Bragg is huge. It's one of the biggest military bases in the world by population size. But a lot of strange things happen at Fort Bragg, a lot of suicide, a lot of drug overdoses, sexual abuse. Again, it is big. It's like something like 50,000 people live there. But, you know, this could also be an elaborate suicide that this guy did. And the suicide rates are so high among veterans and everything. So the FBI said that Jabbar declared his loyalty to ISIS. Again, this is the New Orleans attack. But this guy, Livelsberger, there's no sign yet, you know, you never know what could come out, but there's no sign that he was motivated by anything ISIS related. And he was a decorated combat veteran who had been in the Army for 20 years. The U.S. Army said that he had been deployed to Afghanistan twice and also served in Ukraine, Tajikistan, Georgia, and the Congo. The motive for this bombing is unclear. Again, it could be a suicide. Maybe there's a possibility it wasn't him that actually did it. You know, there's obviously symbolism here, using a Tesla vehicle in front of a Trump hotel. That suggests it could have been meant as a symbolic thing, since Elon Musk was a big supporter of Trump. But the fact is we don't know, and his social media activity makes it seem like he supported Trump, and that's what his uncle, Dean Livelsberger, told The Independent. He said, quote, he loved Trump, and he was always a very, very patriotic soldier, a patriotic American. It's one of the reasons he was in Special Forces for so many years. It wasn't just one tour of duty, end quote. So posts from social media suggest that he was pro-Ukraine and may have been involved in helping recruit military contractors for the conflict. On his LinkedIn account, Livelsberger commented on a post advertising a 30-day contract in Ukraine for a tactical combat casualty care instructor. He said he's got someone, a special forces medical sergeant, who was ready to go, and said that he sent them your way. And then there's a picture of him from 2016, believed to be him from his wife's, or who is believed to be his ex-wife's Facebook page, and he's wearing a shirt, a red and black shirt that says Slava Ukraini, the glory to Ukraine, the nationalist slogan. It's become much more popular since the Russian invasion. But this was in 2016. So I mentioned Ryan Ruth, who was arrested in September 2024 for allegedly trying to assassinate Trump. He was very pro-Ukraine and helped recruit for Ukraine's Foreign Legion. So a potential motive for him was Trump's rhetoric about the war in Ukraine on the campaign trail. This guy, Livelsberger, all we have is the LinkedIn comment so far and the picture with the Ukraine shirt. Ryan Ruth, he had a whole bunch of posts online, crazy, really crazy stuff about Ukraine. So it was clear that that was a motive for him. But this guy, not so clear. There's a lot of unanswered questions here. So we'll see if this becomes clearer. But it's just very strange. 2 incidents like this in the same day, 2 U.S. Army guys. And really the only update, I left up the same story from yesterday about the tragedy in New Orleans. Really the only update here is that the FBI said they walked back that he was likely had help. They said now it looks like he acted alone and it was an act of terrorism. So they're saying, they were talking about videos with people planting IEDs, but now they're saying no, it looks like he completely acted alone.